Not everybody can understand this, but a plant's life isn't as boring as that of the DJs from Radio 1. As the plants, we are always relaxed and enjoy plainly every second of the day. Of course, some of us live in the street and get scared every now and then when a dog walks at us, and some humans build houses over us without notice, but that doesn't happen as often as most people think. Once we've got the photosynthesis, we feel as good as new. I am a geranium, for example. I live in an attic, and I can't complain about lack of sunlight. I can't complain about the fact that every time I get placed outside the balcony, pigeons, well, you know, they come to piss me off and they won't stop doing easily. I wasn't always a plant though. Let me tell you my story. It was a sad and gloomy November afternoon, and I went out to have my daily walk around in the countryside, which I love. I was conscious of being an object at the time, but I didn't know what could I be useful for, nor what did I look like. There wasn't any internet at the time, not mirrors or anything alike. We simply worked hard, walked around in the countryside, sat around a nice fire to share stories, and then we went to sleep on top of each other. Anyway, so I walked and walked so many hours that I can't even remember what time it was if I was conscious of it. I found a nice prairie and a mound, and I stopped around to do some push-ups to diminish my corporeal volume, and because it was free, so to say. After a while, I realized I had no arms nor legs, and I couldn't stand in a natural position, because I ended up sliding, and so I fell over again and again. It was then when a blackbird laughed. When he saw me and asked me what was I doing so clumsily. I told him I was trying to bend my body, unsuccessfully. The blackbird told me it made no sense what I was doing, so he thought it might have been a better idea if I went rolling down a hill, that I will enjoy it and it will be something of my own nature. I simply tried. I went to the top of the hill and went down rolling, and I rolled downhill till I went flying, and I fell over a big stone just in front of a kid who looked rather sad alongside with his mum.
Mum, my ball had been burst. Oh, okay, love. Don't worry. Leave it there and I'll buy you a new one tomorrow.
That was the last time I've seen them. I've lived in my own way from then on the stone. At times, I felt so hot. At times, I felt so cold. But hey, I was happy. Seeing the humans do their picnics, the pyromaniacs burning the woods, the kids playing and touching the balls, the birds tweeting every new sunrise, and so after 7 long minutes I got nagged of being there and I got desperate, honestly. I dreamt of being a different object with some utility, but suddenly another bird picked me up and brought me flying till he let me go, and so I fell in the center of a lake. When I touched the water, I felt really cold. And the best part is, I thought if images could get reflected in the water, I couldn't find out how did I look, but I overlooked at the water and I could see there were cigarette ends, cans of coke, wasted food, spittles, chewing gums, skulls, corpses floating around. It wasn't going to be that easy. Even though I felt good and cold, I got into the water, and so I found I could swim very well. I played with the fishes on the corner of the lake, and every once in a while some mermaid come to chat to tell me how selfish and unfair her dad was to her. She was a bit dull. I always thought she was a spoiled girl who just, came to chat with me because she knew I couldn't reply, as I was just a fish. I ended up turning my back on her. I enjoyed being there for a while, but from the above mentioned niches, mainly the silly mermaid and the fact that I could never leave the water because I couldn't breathe outside. I played with other fishes, eat plankton, and wasted food the humans heartily threw at me, such as hard bread, crisps, or yogurts that were passed by their sell-by date, and I could sleep swimming, which was really funny. However, as the time passed by, I missed the kids and his mother, who at least didn't chat about freak mermaids' lives, as Neptune Hilton did. I thought of jumping out of the water, to live on the surface again at any cost. I jumped 3 or 4 times, but I couldn't but jump 4 inches above the water and get inside again. I sharpened the senses when I saw Bulgarian fishermen looking like they were starving, and they licked repeatedly when they saw me. I had to take a determination. I quickly swam towards one corner of the lake and swam as quick as I could towards the other corner, taking a run, so when I was swimming fast enough near the other corner, I jumped out of the water. Yee-haw! I shouted. Suddenly, while still in the air, I was conscious for a moment that I shouldn't have left the water, as I couldn't breathe outside. But I had been there for a while by now, 2.5 years or so, and I noticed I could indeed breathe. I've done it! I thought to myself, blimey! The following 6 days, I was conscious of flying. I spent them flying. I saw all the city from above, and I crapped at every human I saw in revenge for the crappy food they threw at me while being a fish, while they ate vast quantities of quality food. I got tired of flying all the time, however, and so I went down to earth because I've seen an object that caught my attention. It was really small, rounded, probably a seed, I don't know. The thing is, I ate it, and I had been a geranium ever since. I lived in boredom till a human took me and put me on a pot, which I must admit made me feel so comfortable. Those were the good times. Since then, I chat with the neighbor girl from the 5th floor every day, who knows a lot about plants and assesses me about beauty. So, as you have seen, it's much funnier to live a plant than living as a DJ from Radio 1. There is only one thing I haven't tried so far, and that is being a human. I shall try that someday. I just found out one can get anything one wants, if only one had to be proposed.